The Rigveda, hymn 9.87, Soma Pavamana, 9 verses. Run onward to the reservoir and seat thee, cleansed by the men, speed forward to the battle, making thee beauteous like an able courser. Forth to the sacred grass with reins they lead thee. Into the well-armed god is flowing onward, who quells the curse and guards from treacherous onslaught. Father, begetter of the gods, most skillful, the buttress of the heavens and earth's supporter, Vrisha and sage, the champion of the people, cleft and sagacious, Usana in wisdom, he hath discovered even their hidden nature, the cow's concealed and most mysterious title. This, thine own Soma rich in meath, O Indra, steer for the steer, hath flowed into the filter. The strong, free giver, winning hundreds, thousands, hath reached the holy grass that never fails him. These Somas are for wealth of countless cattle, renowned therefore, and mighty strength immortal. These have been sent forth, purified by strainers like steeds who rush to battle, famed for glory. He, while he cleanses him, invoked of many, hath flowed to give the people all enjoyment. Thou whom the falcon brought, bring dainty viands, bestir thyself, and send us wealth and booty. This Soma pressed into the cleansing filter hath run as 'twere a host. Let loose the courser like a strong bull who whets his horns, keen-pointed like a brave warrior in the fray for cattle. He issued forth from out the loftiest mountain, and found kine hidden somewhere in a stable. Soma's stream clears itself for thee, O Indra, like lightning thundering through the clouds of heaven. Cleansing thyself and borne along with Indra, Soma, thou goest round the herd of cattle. May thy praise help us, mighty one, prompt giver, to the full ample food which thou bestowest. And it's us that is limited in our perception of what can be given from the spiritual realms. Hymn 988, Soma Pavamana, 8 verses. For thee the Soma is effused, O Indra, drink of this juice. For thee the stream is flowing, Soma, which thou thyself hast made and chosen, even into for thy special drink to cheer thee. Like a capacious car hath it been harnessed, the mighty to acquire abundant treasures. Then in the sacrifice they celebrated all triumphs won by Nahus in the battle, like Vayu with his team, moving at pleasure, most gracious when invoked, like both Nasatyas. Thou art thyself like the wealth giver, Soma, who grants all boons, like song-inspiring Pushan, like Indra, who hath done great deeds. Thou, Soma, art slayer of the Pritras, fort destroyer, like Petu's horse, who killed the brood of serpents. Thus thou, O Soma, slayest every Dasyu, like Acne, loosed amid the forest. Fiercely he winneth splendor in the running waters, like one who fights the roaring of the mighty. Thus Soma Pavamana sends his current. These Somas passing through the fleecy filter, like rain descending from the clouds of heaven, have been effused and poured into the beakers swiftly like rivers, running lowly seaward, flow onward like the potent band of Marutas, like that celestial host, whom none revileth. Quickly, be gracious unto us like waters, like sacrifice victorious, thousand-fashioned. Thine are King Varuna's eternal statutes. Lofty and deep, O Soma, is thy glory, all pure art. Thou, like Mitra, the beloved, adorable, like Aryaman, O Soma. And art is pure when it's not art for art's sake, when it doesn't conflict with science, when it's full of this consciousness and taking the right side. Hymn 989, Soma Pavamana, 7 verses. This chariot horse hath moved along the pathways, and Pavamana flowed like rain from heaven. With us hath Soma with 1,000 currents sunk in the wood. Upon his mother's bosom, king he hath clothed him. In the robe of rivers, mounted the straightest going ship of order. Sped by the hawk, the drop hath waxed in waters. The father drains it, drains the father's offspring. They come to him, red tawny, lord of heaven, the watchful guardian of the meath, the lion. First hero in the fight, he seeks the cattle, and with his eye the steer is our protector. They harness to the broad-wheeled car the mighty courser, whose back bears Meath, unwearied awful. The twins, the sisters brighten him, and strengthen these children of one dame, the vigorous racer. Four pouring out the holy oil attend him, sitting together in the same container. To him they flow, and purified with homage, and still from every side are first about him. He is the buttress of the heavens, supporter of earth, and in his hand are all the people. Be the team's lord. A well to thee, the singer, cleansed is the sweet plant stalk for deed of glory. Fighting uninjured, come, where gods are feasted. Soma as virtuous slayer, flow for Indra. Vouchsafe us ample riches, very splendid. May we be masters of heroic vigor. And yeah, we got to do our own hero deeds. And those created beings that take part in things, well, there's beyond that. Because as we saw in the last program, well, that God of heaven stuff, and people think, oh, well, it's the God of this world, but not other worlds. It's like, yeah, but we saw in other verses that that's clearly only one thing. Like you see these names of gods and all that. And people are like, oh, this one name, but well, it goes beyond the human conception in the first place, the divine qualities, but the divine essence is not what we want to talk about, right? Like somebody posted on YouTube that I've talked to before. Basically, I was going to say something like, yeah, don't let people tell you about God's essence. Hymn 990, Soma Pavamana. 6 verses. Urged on, the Father of the earth and heaven hath gone forth like a car to gather booty, going to Indra, sharpening his weapons, and in his hand containing every treasure. To him the tones of sacred song have sounded, steer of the triple height, the life bestower, dwelling in wood as Varuna in rivers, lavishing treasure as he distributes blessings. Great conqueror, warrior girt, lord of all heroes, flow on thy way as he who winneth riches, with sharpened arms, with swift bow, never vanquished in battle, vanquishing in fight the foeman, giving security, Lord of wide dominion. Send us both earth and heaven with their fullness, striving to win the dawns, the light, the waters, and cattle. Call to us abundant vigor. O Soma, gladden Varuna and Mitra, cheer Indu, Pavamana, Indra, Vishnu, cheer thou the gods, the company of Marutas, Indu, cheer mighty Indra to rejoicing. Thus, like a wise and potent king, flow onward, destroying with thy vigor all misfortunes. For our well-spoken hymn, give life, O Indu. Do ye preserve us evermore with blessings. And by Father, don't take that too literally, because it's beyond the microcosm and macrocosm. It's beyond any sense of duality. Hymn 991, Soma Pavamana. 6 verses. As for a chariot race, the skillful speaker, chief sage, inventor, hath with song been started. The sisters 10 upon the fleecy summit drive on the car horse to the resting places. The Drapasoma, pressed by wise Nahushas, becomes the banquet of the heavenly people. Indu, by hands of mortal men, made beauteous, immortal, with the sheep and cows and waters. Steer roaring into steer. This Pavamana, this juice, runs to the white milk of the milch cow. Through 1,000 fine hairs goes the tuneful singer like Surya by his fair and open pathways. Break down the strong seats even of the demons, cleansing thee, Indu. Robe thyself in vigor. Rend with thy swift bolt, coming from above them, those who are near and those who are yet distant. Prepare the forward paths in ancient manner for the new hymn, thou giver of all bounties, thou which are high and hard for foes to conquer, may we gain from thee. Active food bestower, so purifying thee, vouchsafe us waters. Heaven's light and cows, offspring and many children, give us health, ample land, and lights, O Soma, and grant us long to look upon the sunshine. Robed thyself. Just like we talk about, people talk about, all the gods are within you. Well, the reference to all these things is within you. It's not like you literally have a snake here and a donkey over here and a bull over here, and but you can understand, make good use of the references. Just like in the Golden Dawn when they put on god forms or other groups like that. Well, Hymn 992, Summa Pavamana, 6 verses. The golden-hued juice poured out upon the filter is started like a car sent forth to conquer. He hath gained song and vigor, while they cleansed him, and hath rejoiced the gods with entertainments. He who beholdeth man hath reached the filter bearing his name. The sage hath sought his dwelling. The riches came to him. 7 holy singers, when in the balls he settled as invoker. Shared by all gods most wise, perpetuous, Summa goes, while they cleanse him to his constant station. Let him rejoice in all his lofty wisdom. To the 5 tribes the sage attains with labor. In thy mysterious place, O Pavamana Soma, are all the gods, the thrice 11, 10 on the fleecy height, themselves self-prompted, and 7 fresh rivers brighten and adorn thee. Now let this be the truth of Pavamana, where all singers gather them together, that he hath given us room and made the daylight, hath holpen Manu and repelled the Dasyu, as the priest seeks the station, rich in cattle, like a true king, who goes to great assemblies. Soma hath sought the beakers, while they cleansed him, and like a wild bull in the wood, hath settled. It's sometimes not the point to be noticed. You do what you do and hold that potential. Hymn 993, Soma Pavamana, 5 verses. 10 sisters pouring out the rain together, swift moving thinkers of the sage adorn him. Hither hath run the gold-hued child of Surya, and reached the vat like a fleet vigorous courser, even as a youngling crying to his mothers. The bounteous steer hath flowed along to waters. As youth to damsel, so with milk he hastens on to the choice meeting place, the beaker. Yea, swollen is the udder of the milch cow, thither in streams goes very sapient Indu. The kine make ready, as with the new washed treasures, the head and chief with milk within the vessels, with all the gods, O Indu Pavamana, while thou art roaring, send us wealth and horses. Hither upon her car come willing plenty, inclined to us, to give us of her treasures. Now unto us meet riches, while they cleanse thee, all glorious, swelling wealth. With store of heroes, long be his life, who worships thee, O Indu. May he, enrich with prayer, come soon and early. Now, we should want what deity would consider the best, what deity would consider the choicest for our lives. And to the chose meeting place, well, it's not always what we think is the best, what we decide is the best. Hymn 994, Soma Pavamana, 5 verses. When beauties strive for him as for a charger, then strive the songs like soldiers for the sunlight. Acting the sage, he flows enrobed in waters, and song as 'twere a stall that kine may prosper. The worlds expand to him who from aforetime found light to spread the law of life eternal. The swelling songs like kine within the stable, in deep devotion call aloud on Indu, when the sage bears his holy wisdom round him like a car visiting all worlds, the hero, becoming fame mid gods unto the mortal, wealth to the skilled, worth, praise mid the ever-present. For glory born, he hath come forth to glory. He giveth life and glory to the singers. They, clothed in glory, have become immortal. He, measured in his course, makes phrase successful. Streams to us, food and vigor, kine and horses, give us broad lights, and fill the gods with rapture. All these are easy things for thee to master, thou, Pavamana Soma, quellest foeman. Let us do things beyond their present conditions. and let us work on mastering skills and knowledge and all that. Hymn 9.95, Soma Pavamana, 5 verses. Loud neighs the tawny steed when started, settling deep in the wooden vessel, while they cleanse him, led by the men. He takes the milk for raiment, then shall he, through his powers, engender praise songs, as one who rows, drives on his boat. He, golden-hued, sends forth his voice, loosed on the path of order. As God, the secret names of gods he utters, to be declared on sacred grass more widely, hastening onward, like the waves of waters. Our holy hymns are pressing nigh to Soma. To him they come with lowly adoration, and longing enter him who longs to meet them. They drain the stock, the steer who dwells on mountains, even as a bull who decks him on the upland. Hymns follow and attend him as he bellows. Treta bears Varuna aloft in ocean, sending thy voice out as director. Loosened invoker's thought, O Indu, as they cleanse thee, while thou and Indra rule for our advantage. May we be masters of heroic vigor. And there are secret names and secret methods to the spiritual worlds. And I say worlds when we're talking beings here, particularly beings that some people worship as gods, because the light being realm, the Devas, and the fire being realm, Asuras, well, there's things of their realm that aren't beings.